Zafridi, his bowling mark, it's down near that 30-metre circle. He's going to come in quick. And the wind will help him a lot. It's coming pretty much over his left shoulder. So it's going across him slightly, but behind him. So the ball might duck back into these openers. And the keeper for Brno, it's Ansan Azir. He's way back. Got a third man in place deep, and they've also got a deep point. No one deep on the leg side. We want to keep it straight. Here comes Afridi. And good ball straight up, and he's hit it for 4 on that leg side. He was onto it very quickly, was NAEEM. And it wasn't a bad ball. A little bit short, maybe. Dragged it from just outside off stump. Didn't time it as well. That ball's coming a lot quicker than what it was in the previous game from the United bowlers. Let's see how Afridi reacts to that, and see how the skipper, Dylan Stain, reacts to that as well. I said no one really on that leg side. There is a man at just a regulation mid-wicket. Maybe a catching position. This one's on the legs again, and that's 4 again. He's very strong in that area. That's not where you want to bowl to this man, NAEEM LALA. Good start here for PCC. Just getting too straight with that one. Just tucked it around the corner. Helped with the pace of the ball. And NAEEM LALA looking a very, very good addition to this this PCC lineup. Brno won't know much about him either. I've never played against him. I think they know what he's all about now. Raise Afridi. See how he can correct. Bowled very good bounces yesterday. Let's see if he drags one out here. And he does, and it's the same result, just over the fielder, and 4 runs again. Well, that fielder's there for that reason, maybe. And it just went over him. He's now still chasing the ball almost into the car park. A fantastic start here for Lala, continuing his good form from the last game. Good to see Dr. Misha in the chat. There's only one Lala in Czech cricket, and sure ain't this fella. It's part of the Vinarati squad is Mikhail Tavaladis. He's a good guy. Comes Afridi again, and we change things. Just outside of stump, and he's strong out there as well, and it's going to beat the field, and that'll be another 4. 4444. Not a phone number. Not yet. Well, I thought it was going to be a good contest between these two. It has been. It's definitely Lala who's winning it at the moment. Just past the player there. It's a tree. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Couldn't quite catch up to it, I should say. So he's going to come around the wicket. I think it's a good move here from Afridi. He's just going to change the angle slightly. Needs to change things. 16 off 4 balls. Current run rate of 24. That's going to change. Like to see the wind predictor. Just fixing up the stumps as the umpire. Joined back in the commentary, Igloo. No, Ice Cube, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's better. We had our Igloo last year.
Yeah, we did.
Kind of miss it a little bit.
Oh, that was nice.
That was one of the best accommodations we had, actually.
Very snug.
ECS last year.
Very
had
snug.
to survive some stiff punishment. And it's Afridi that's on the end of the punishment at the moment. 4 consecutive boundaries. And now he almost gets a return effort. Well, he's having a look at himself. Kind of holds it up, but let's just say he's not made a very convincing case for himself. Now he's kind of walking away. He might want to have a little bit of a look at this.
Good piece of fielding.
We might not be able to see here. He goes a long way to his right here. That's not going to help us too much. So
no one very convinced.
I don't think another angle will get it better. This one, I'll go back and have a sneaky look at that. Yeah, that's definitely bounced. It's conclusive. Anyway, now we're having some issues with the wind. Again, this is reminding me a bit of last year where we had I think we played without bails a fair bit last year in Prague, didn't we, because of this wind. It is exposed. I'd say it's maybe more exposed than any other cricket ground I've ever been to in Europe because there's just miles around that you can see. But it's also really beautiful. That's the thing. But you say it's a bit annoying. The bail's being blown off a little bit early on in this game.
You can see a building in the background, structure in the background. I'll come back to that in a moment.
Yeah, last ball over. Well, this is going to be another boundary, and so well, he might have missed out one ball, but the other 5 all disappeared to the boundary. So Lala picking up where he left off in the last game. This was an uppercut, so the first over goes magical without a Maximo. Not often you see that 20 for no loss after one. What a start for PCC.
Yeah, fantastic start for PCC. It'll be interesting to see what Dylan Stain does here. Will he turn to Naveed Ahmed?
Yes. Well, the reason I say yes is because he did so well yesterday. I don't see why he wouldn't. And the other thing is these two have batted through the day so far for PCC, but they've only really faced pace. So I think you've got to change it up and hope that you can break through. If you ask these guys what they prefer, I think they'd prefer pace on the ball. But it doesn't look like it's Naveed Ahmed that he's going to. It looks like it's Tripareri Kanyalal. So a different kind of a spinner. It's more of a pace on spinner, to be honest. But they are trying a spin option here in the second. Curious why they didn't go for Naveed, though.
I think it's a good move. I know that Beastie knows Naveed's bowling very well from the national team set up, and they've been playing against each other for quite a long time. And especially in the power play, it would be a bit of a risk against Sudesh. But Tree is awkward. I've never said that before. Not a Tree is awkward, but Tree is an awkward bowler.
Yeah, he's different, isn't he? He's not a huge spinner of the ball, but he kind of pushes it through. It slides a lot of balls in. So this should be a really interesting battle. It's Tree versus the Beast. It's not a Disney musical. It is ECS Czech Republic right here, match 10. Second over. And the Beast has none of it. And he makes this one disappear. Abracadabra. That one's out of here. Maximo! And first honours to Sudesh. As Tree bowls the ball, which I'd say was decent line, decent length. But suddenly, it wasn't in the building anymore.
Yeah, that was absolutely hammered. And you can see, if you look at the field, there's they've got a point and a gully that are very close to each other on the offside. And anticipating a cut shot from the Beast. A cut shot there. It was just hammered over cow corner.
Makes him reach. This is a better line, but it's also going to be driven away. Do have a bit of cover on the offside. So I think the tactic here is to get Sudesh reaching for the ball. They've got deep cover. They've got a deep long off. And so that's the plan. But I think the first one got a bit too straight. And if he can go over the leg side, he will, because there's nobody back there at all. That's exactly what Lala does. He doesn't care. He's going to laser this one. Another ball tattooed out of the ground at the moment. It's a force de majeure, and it's Lala who goes Maximo for the first time in his innings.
Well, we're wondering what was about this contest between Tree and these two, the opening batsmen. It's definitely the openers who are winning the battle. And Lala, he's ominous for PCC. He's tried to go again. He's dragged that one across. It should be forward. It will be. Just bisected those players. And he's got to do something here, Dylan Stain. He's got to move someone to the leg side.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're trying to do. This is a legitimate tactic, but the issue is, if the batters are good enough to go fetch it and send it over the leg side, then what do you do next? I mean, also, you can't protect boundaries, or you can't protect sixes that are going miles over your head. So I think they're hoping for a false shot. They haven't really found one yet. I mean, Lala, 30 off 8. He is absolutely speeding through this power play at the moment. He's up again, and he wants to crack this one back, and it's a bump ball.
Crowd catch. There's a crowd catch.
You're
Vinny.
part of the crowd, Danny, because that one fooled you.
To be fair, I couldn't see it because Tree was in the way.
Well, no appeal at all. And now, this is exactly what they're trying to get them to do. They still persisted with this plan. You got Lala tried to whack this one over the leg side. This one just sneaks over the stump, so A rollicking start to game 10. Prague CC winning the toss, batting after 2 overs. They're 37 without loss.
Yeah, very good start for PCC, and this partnership continues now, Vinny. It's 169 so far for the day.
It's not bad going, is it?
If my maths is right.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. 169 in 12 overs.
Oh, here's
14 and over or so.
There, Dylan Stain. He's tossed the ball to his the ever reliable Sundip Tiwari.
Yeah, see, I think I would have gone for Naveed Ahmed here. I think the spin was more effective, even though, yeah, I know it went for a few runs, but did look more likely to take a wicket, which is exactly what you need to do at this stage. Yes, the first 2 overs going for 20, then 17. Tiwari's had an interesting 24 hours, hasn't he?
This one might go for a few. Let's see how he goes against the beast. Down leg side, and it's been hammered over the fine leg fieldsman for 6. Wow, it just went with the angle.
I think this is a bit of a one-hander. If you look at this, maybe just after the point of contact, this one just swings in. I don't know if we got this from the batter's angle. You'll see the way he whacks it away. Just hold it with the batter here. Yeah, just the one hand. When you're as strong as the beast, that's all you need. And I think that one goes with the wind. I'm surprised if that one gets found easily straight away. PCC making their presence known. Already up to 95% on the wind predictor.
I wonder why.
It's pretty brutal stuff at the moment. I'm wondering when the bats would warm up. Better ball though. Pushed and just a single over to Lala, who's 30 off 10. He's been the real story of day 3 so far, hasn't he, Danny?
Absolutely. Look, it's someone we didn't really know until this morning, but he's announced himself to, well, to everyone out there in on YouTube and to the FanCode viewers as well in India, and to us. Looking pretty handy, and that'll be another 4.
Just keep on coming at the moment, don't they? And they've now protected their leg side a little bit more, but we're still in the power plays. They've only got those 2 outfielders to play with. And so, watch Lala here. Gets a little bit leg side of the ball. It's a pretty risk-free shot, I suppose, because you're playing with a straight bat. Doesn't have to elevate it. Gets into the gap and 4 more runs. 34 off 11. Better than 300 strike rate at the moment.
Oh. I don't think Burno have just turned up from Burno. A little while ago, and I think they want to head back as soon as they can.
Well, this next one is pulled off a length. He doesn't want to run here. Sends back the beast. Well, not many people turn the beast around, and well, he cops someone in the backside. And yeah, I think that's just because Lala wants to strike at the moment. He's pretty hungry for it. Let's have a look at this at the very end.
Well, dot ball, a bit of relief.
Don't think you'll see 2 in a row. Maybe you will, as this one gets pushed away. So not really looking for the singles here. I think whenever batters hit a dot, they're thinking, well, actually, I don't want to run because I'm fancying hitting the next ball to the boundary. But it's 2 in a row now. 48. This partnership still out of the power play. This is the last ball of the 3rd over coming up. And this one does beat the short fielder. It will go to Afridi at mid-off. They do get a single, so Lala will retain the strike. He moves to 35, and a very good power play for Prague CC. Bats have been on fire so far on day 3. It's 49 for no loss after 3 overs.
Considering what happened in the previous 2 overs, that was not a bad over there, especially the back half of it from Tiwari.
Yeah, looked like he might go the distance like his teammates, but he only goes for 12 in the end. So the step ladder coming down, but it's still a bit of a jump, isn't it, off that 3rd over? And now they are going to go back to Kanyalal. So Tree's going to bowl the 4th. Bit surprised still. I mean, I think if you're getting a pasting, I do think that changing the bowling is probably a good idea. Don't let the batters settle. They looked very settled against Tripuri Kanyalal in the 2nd over. Although he did create a couple of half opportunities, finished with 2 dots. And I suppose maybe another factor for Dylan Stain in his thinking is that now Kanyalal will have the protection of 5 outfielders as opposed to the 2 he had early on. So hoping for a miss hit.
Well, that's what Dylan Stain's there at that short mid wicket, just to cut off anything that's mishit.
Here we go, 4th over. And so inventive batting. This is right off the middle of the bat, so I don't think that appeal's going to hold up very well. It's smart batting, so Lala showing he's got a little bit of touch as well, and he spotted there was no fine leg, just taps that one to the boundary.
Yeah, lovely shot there. He tried one in the last game, got a leg by. This one was off the middle of the bat, and it's the fastest part of the ground. It goes downhill, and the wind is pushing it as well, yes. So there's no chance for any fielders.
Trying to force a field change. I don't think they've changed it yet, so he may go again here. It's the kind of shot that good players can play to almost any ball, even if it's outside off stump. They can manoeuvre themselves kind of behind the line of the ball and tap it away. And yeah, that's a lot less risky than probably taking on outfielders with a drive. Good batting, smart batting.
Very smart, very smart batting. Here comes Tree again.
Time he sits and he hits and he cuts, and that'll be 4 more, I think. So the boundaries just keep on coming. Wow, I mean, how many 4s is that? He's hit a bunch of them so far. In fact, that's his 10th boundary. He's also hit a 6, so that's 46 in boundaries as he moves to 49 in quick time.
You can see why he doesn't want to take those singles, Vinny.
Yeah, let me check the score. Pardon me, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. He's 43 off 16. And that's 9 boundaries. Could be another one. This one sneaks through. But still no Naveed Ahmed. And I know the idea of maybe trying a couple of different options or sticking with Treat, but already you got 57 on the board. You're staring down the barrel, and you haven't bowled who I think was your best bowler yesterday. And there's the ledge, and this is the way it's going at the moment. That's going to fly for 4. So he does get that 10th boundary that I was describing. Moves him to 47, and we haven't had a century in a little while. Not since the first half of Sweden. I'm not going to call it too early because he doesn't have 50 yet, but the way he's batting, he's certainly looking a chance.
Look at the other end as well. I mean, Sudesh has got 14 or 4, so it's not as though there's any respite with the non-striker just pushing it round. Lala, he's having the time of his life.
One mistake though, if you burn it, that's what you got to tell yourself. He's given a couple of chances today.
Ooh, that could be close. And he's given him. Well, there you go, Vinny. You called it.
Yeah, Chick's did pretty good. Called him for 100. He didn't even make 50 in the end. And he's going to go for 47. Finally, Prague CC lose a wicket. We'll see this on the replay. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good shout. I mean, the only question is height. Because sometimes it's hard to judge the height. Because he's down. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing for me, but maybe